Small-scale women farmers in Nigeria have made a case for more investment and implementation of the national gender policy in agriculture across national and subnational levels in order to boost agricultural production, accelerate economic growth and development, eradicate poverty, and empower the vulnerable members of the society. This is, according to them, will also ensure food security as the nation battles with the economic crisis and rising cost of living in Nigeria.
Nigeria's agricultural sector, according to experts, contributes significantly to the country's gross domestic product. However, it has seen a sharp decline in output with stunted growth due to low productivity. On the flip side, it's a challenge of participation of women farmers in rural and urban centers, which has over time affected households and businesses. But the Agriculture and Food Security Ministry has assured Nigerians of the federal government's readiness to continue investing in food security and climate change, especially towards improving gender participation.
Enhancing agricultural products, storage and transportation infrastructure, activation of river basins and 500,000 hectares of land for ongoing agriculture. We also enhance the central bank's involvement in financing the agricultural value chain, and the use of concessionary funds or capital in the agricultural industry.
Women farmers and stakeholders in the agric sector want greater synergy and enforcement of justice and equity in the distribution chain of all necessary commodities, as well as policy implementation across gender lines.
The smallholder woman farmer doesn't have enough to produce as much as the people will need. Why then are we still having problem with poverty? Why are we still having problem with food insecurity? It is because the women farmer, the smallholder women farmers, or the smallholder farmer is not being involved as fully as they should.
There's a divide between government processes and the women at the grassroots levels. Having supported them to integrate gender into the agriculture policy, we're trying to bridge that gap by bringing women to the table to let government know what their problems are, as well as government tell them what they have in stock for the women.
If you check the data and indices available, you see that with the fuel subsidy removal, with high inflation, food price crisis, that more Nigerians are struggling, people are getting poorer, and we are pushing to make sure that interventions are put in place immediately to also alleviate this situation.
Statistics show that worldwide, 75% of poor people live in rural areas and are mostly involved in farming, with 3 out of 4. Statistics show that worldwide, 75% of poor people live in rural areas and are mostly involved in farming, with 3 out of 4 of every poor person in developing countries among this population having a high dependence on agriculture for their livelihoods. This makes it imperative to empower women, who make up majority of the number, in order to ensure economic stability and sustainable human development, especially through agricultural production. Aisha Salihu, Trust TV News, Abuja.